Good evening. Good evening. Come on in.
Come on in the room.
Come on in the room. Come on in and tell us who you are. Like, share, love, all those things. Tag some people. We're going to have an interesting conversation today, and I'm so excited. So I'm going to wait for some of you guys to come on, but we're actually going to be talking about paralyzed in abusive situations. So if you know of someone that is in that type of situation, or just you want some people just to hear the information, receive some revelation, tag them, call them,
Yes.
email them, text them, let them know that we're on live right now on the Global
Yes.
Talk Experience. And my name is Ansonia.
And I'm Nick.
And we have missed being with you. We have been doing some strategic planning and just really behind the scenes getting our act together for 2021. And we, as you can tell, 2021 started off pretty crazy too. But we're here and live and ready to share with you. So
Yes.
just come on in, tell us who you are, where you're from,
Yes,
and
please.
tag some people. Tell them
Yes.
what happens if they invite and tag today, Nick.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Listen, because we have missed y'all so much, I made sure to add something special for everyone. As you all know, you know, I'm a makeup artist. I have a brand. It's Face by Nick. And what I want to do for everyone, because we were gone, we promised we would be back by January, and all kinds of things happened. Then we had snow, and then my Wi-Fi was off, and we had no electricity. Right? It was just like too much stuff. So what I'm going to do is, and my Wi-Fi was off, and we had no electricity. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, I shared the link already. Let me know if you can't find it. It should be on our page. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and make sure you share this live feed. Share this live feed, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you will be entered into winning $25 gift card from Face by Nick Cosmetics. Now, what you can do towards that, you can use it towards any beauty service, or you can use it towards any of my skincare or my makeup products. And I have some great products coming out soon. So, yeah.
So you can tell she's been really busy.
Busy.
There's just been so
Busy
much
but
going
good. Busy
on.
but productive. That's important.
What'd you say?
Busy but productive.
Absolutely. And
That's
that's
important.
what that's what we're supposed to do, be busy and productive.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we've just been doing, you see, Nick's been doing quite a bit, and I have, let's see what I've been doing. I've started been doing some writing. I started my doctorate program, which has been keeping me pretty busy. Started the same job, same company, but different job, got a promotion. So really trying to learn that. So really just really trying to ground myself. And then now we're starting back up with the Global Talk Experience. I'm really excited about that. So just lots of neat things that are going on. So
Yes. We
as
are.
you know, me and Nick's birthday, well, you probably don't know, but we share April. So our birthdays are a couple of days apart. And so we're
A
excited
day.
about, huh?
A day apart.
Yeah, a day apart. Mine is on the 17th and hers is on the 18th.
Yes.
So we're excited about that. And so just watch out. There's going to be exciting things coming out in April. So yeah, so before we get started, just wanted to remind you to share,
Yes. Please.
like and love and text and call and email and tell all
Yes.
your friends that we're going to be talking about abusive relationships and how we sometimes get paralyzed. We're going to talk about ways that you can get out of it. We're going to talk about just some different scenarios that people have been in.
Right.
We're going to talk about some just some ways that you can get out, some resources, things that you can do, places that you can call. Just a lots of information. And I think this is something that's very timely. So go ahead. We'll give you just a couple more minutes. Um, a couple
Yeah.
more minutes to let everybody know we are here. And we are so glad. We're just happy. We've missed you guys so much. We're just excited about what the new year is going to bring us
Yeah.
all. So
We see you
listen,
ladies. We see you ladies in the comments. Miss Michelle, that's my girl right there.
hey
I love and
girl.
miss you. We love and miss you. Miss Danica, you know you my girl. I love you. Thank you so much. And the other people that are watching right now.
And then all of you that are going to be watching the replay, we are so glad to have you. Definitely, when you come back, share this, and we're so glad to be a part with you today. So today we're going to be talking
That's
about.
right there. I know
So
that name.
what
Miss
is that?
Crown herself. She walks around with a crown on her head because she's the queen. Yes, I love it. I love that brand because what she does is she makes people talk to her because they think it's her birthday. That's why she's wearing the crown, but it's not her birthday. So it gets her talking and explaining her Airborne Society company.
Oh, nice. That's
Yes.
smart. Hey, Sierra, how are you doing? So glad to have you here.
There she is. Yes.
So anyway, let's get started. We have so much to talk about, and I'm sure we definitely want to hear from you. So as we're talking, talk to us back in the comment section. We'll be checking that. One thing I wanted to let you know is that as you can tell, we are on at a new time. We are on every other Monday at 7 p.m. Central. So mark your calendars. We're going to see how that works for us. So we're excited about our new time. With everything going on, we had to switch up a little bit. So we're going to try the evening time and see if that works better. So anyways, share this again as I wanted to tell you. Go ahead and remember to comment always our YouTube channel. And then as Nick said, we're going to be giving away a $25 gift card for those of you, for a drawing for those of you that do that. So go ahead and do that now. But we're going to talk about abuse. And unfortunately, it's something that is happening more and more now, especially with COVID. And, we're stuck in the house, with our children and our husbands and our spouses. And so things that were happening, I like to say undercover because most people won't tell you that's what's happening in their home. They can't get out now, or they don't because their jobs are at home now. We're pretty much at home all day working. We don't go out much just because of COVID. And so there's just not that many outlets for you. And then people they've already been frustrated with each other. And so now they're in each other's face all the time. And so they're even more frustrated. And so these situations have been increasing more and more. And so we want to talk about that. And we want to talk about how we can help and, some of the things the signs that you can look for within your friends, and how, little things that you can share with them to help them to get out, or to, even if they don't know how to tell you, you can give them little signals and things. And Nick and I are going to talk to you about that. So basically, we're going to be talking. There's so many different types of abuse. Nick, what do you think? Give us some of the types of abuse that we have.
All right. So, you can always associate. Well, first, when you hear the word abuse, when somebody is saying I'm being abused, they immediately go to physical, right? Because that's the most common, is that they're being physically abused. And that could be sexually, they're getting beat. I've heard all kinds of stories, right? But there's also verbal. Mental abuse, manipulation, that's another form as well. And then, things that people don't really talk about, spiritually.
Yes.
Spiritual abuse. People abusing their power in a corporate setting as well. There's just all kinds, and it's just really sad, because people shy away from, if you're not getting physically abused, then you don't really hear about all the other abuse.
That is so true.
Yeah.
So true. And so even, one of the things that we'll talk about too is when we were in the military, you would see a lot of the military wives who were restrained from the finances, that's abuse. If your
Yeah.
husband is not giving you access to
Yeah.
things in the home, the finances, that is considered
Yep.
abuse too. And so we used to see that, yep, financial abuse. We used to see
Yep.
that
All kinds.
all the time.
Like there's so many. I think there was when I looked them up, there was 13 different ways you can get abused. Like there's a lot. There's a lot. We would have to do a part two. It's so much. And it's really sad because it's like, you know, we don't really talk about it. You know, you talk about you don't really talk about it, right? People don't really talk about someone being abused, but it's more noticeable if someone's getting physically abused. You know, then you're like, oh, okay, you're getting abused, but you don't ever hear about the financial one, or you don't hear about spiritually or mentally. You don't ever hear about those things. Those get kind of shunned away.
But even with the spiritual, sometimes you don't even realize that it's abuse
Right.
until you have conversations with people and something what I used to hear, or not used to, but when I have these kind of conversations with people and we're talking about even the spiritual ones, they don't even realize, they just know that there's a heaviness that they feel on themselves, and they don't realize it until we have the dialogue that there's some type of abuse going on there. So there's just so many different facets of abuse, as Nick has said, that we really want to bring awareness to you all, to have conversations and start talking and, really have open dialogue with your family, your friends, your pastor, all of those people, just to bring some light to some of those things. Correct. And the other thing that we never hear about is that, when you think of abuse, you always think of women. Men are abused as well.
Yeah. And actually the numbers are climbing. The numbers are climbing. I think when I looked it up, it says 60%. 60%. And it's not from another man. Sometimes their wives their girlfriends are abusing them, because, you can have that man who just really believes in whatever you want, honey, whatever you want. And that woman who is abusive will take advantage of that the same way the man does to the woman. Absolutely. And will make him do things. And I was reading all kinds of stuff, and I just was so shocked, because that is definitely not talked about the man getting abused ever. You don't ever hear about that. And
go ahead.
And then, and then most don't want to talk about it, because then they feel like they're not a man.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Right. You're right on it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're embarrassed.
Yep. Yep. For sure.
So those are some of the things that we definitely want you guys to keep in mind, that abuse is everywhere. Children are getting abused even more now. People are and I don't want to say rightly so, but we're in a strange era in our country right now. And we've never been in such a confinement where you're literally confined. Right. And so people don't really know what to do with that energy. They don't know what to do with that feeling.
Right.
And we've talked about this before. The African American community doesn't, especially the men, don't want to go to counseling. But I'm giving you all permission. It is okay to see someone. If you're feeling some type of way, some anxiety, that something's not right, you feel that pressure, please reach out and call someone and let them know, something's not right with you. And then, somebody will, ask them, can I get the kids for an hour? Especially single parents, they need a break too. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk about some of the stats that you've researched, Nick.
Wow.
Over that. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yes. So like I was saying, that they're, so some of the stats are 60% of the men are getting abused, right? And you would think that the women would be getting abused a lot more, but it's the opposite. And, like we were saying, not too many people want to talk about that. And then when the men do come forward, they get bullied more, because then it's like, oh, you're not no man, or the guys that they do trust are sitting there laughing. What do you mean she hits you? What do you mean she's making you do things? I've heard so many different things, as far as, and they get sexually abused by their wives too.
They do.
And
Hey,
that was
Ladonna.
shocking. And that was shocking. And so that there's that. Do you know 13% believe that the police would do nothing to help?
Wow.
And there, unfortunately, there are some things to back it up. There's women that will go to the police and will say this is happening, and then what happens? Especially the ones who have restraining orders, right? Yeah, but he's still going to come out. He could still pop up over there and try to kill you. So it's like these different scenarios keep happening, and then they're playing them in their head, and they're like, well, never mind, I'm just not going to tell the police, which is going to go to our next topic on why they don't go to the police, right? Because that's the first thing that people say. Why don't you just go to the police? Why don't you just tell someone? Well, do you know that can make somebody get hit worse?
Exactly.
Because the police is only going to hold that person for 24 to 48 hours.
That's it.
That's it. And if that's his home, he has a right to go back in it. So that's why not too many people go to the police. And then 20% fear retaliation. And that's including the men. 13% deem it is as it's a personal issue. So they're thinking, well, I'm the problem. So as long as I fix this, as long as I hurry up and do the dishes, he won't get mad. As long as I keep the kids away when he gets home, maybe he won't get mad. Or she had a rough day at work, so that's why she comes in the house yelling, screaming, all these other things. So they're literally victimizing themselves, saying this is the reason why this is happening. And you definitely don't want to feel like that, because now you are also abusing yourself. So now you have two abusers. You have yourself, and then you have the person who's abusing you. 7% do not want to get the offender in trouble. And so many people would be so shocked at hearing that when they're getting abused, but it's true. Because think about it, you still love the person. This is a person you could have been with for 20 years. Mm-hmm. And they started drinking. And then now all of a sudden, their brain went crazy, and now they start to hit you. And so you have to still get out of your mind that, okay, this is not the person I love right now. But it's kind of hard to, right? If you've been with them for so long. And then you're like, this is not how this person always acts. This is not the person I fell in love with. So then you're back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And so they don't want to see this person locked up. They think this person just needs help. Right? But of course, that can take a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Because you gotta convince the person that they need help. And if you tell them they need help, it might get worse. So, but yeah, that's just a few.
And most of the abusers are always telling you it's your fault. And so in your mind, they're emotionally abusive. So they start, planting things in your mind. So you start feeling like it's all you, as Nick was saying before. And so it's, one thing that Nick and I were talking about earlier, it's not always easy. It's easy for people to say they just need to get out, or they need to do this. But unless you've ever been in this situation before, I always tell people to reserve your, speak, within your own self, because you just don't know what those people are going through, what they've dealt with. You don't even know what their history is. They could have grown up in an abusive family. But just to get you guys all engaged, before we start going on, I just wanted you guys to tell me right in the chat, what do you think some of the signs are? And you may already know someone that has been through this situation before, but let's talk about some of the signs that you can begin to look for, or you've already seen from friends that have been in this situation. Why don't you tell us that?
Yes. Some of the signs. Oof.
Me and Nick were just talking about that reserved judgment because, you always want to leave an open door for your friends or your family or even someone that really looks up to you and respects you. Excuse me, if you start um, giving judgment against them, they're going to close back up because they're going to say, you don't understand, you don't know how to
Right.
deal with it. And then they're just going to stay in the situation. And you always want it to be welcoming and open so you can
Yes.
help somebody that's in that situation come out.
For sure. For sure. For sure. Miss Janice is on. Thank you.
Hey, how are
I love
you?
you
Good to see
too.
you. We see you.
Ashlyn, my girl. My
Hmm.
girl Ashlyn. I can't wait to meet with you soon.
Yes, they do shut down. That is so. The fear.
Yes.
Somebody said the fear of judgment causes people to shut down. It
Yes.
does.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then Janice said reserving judgment helps reduce shame,
Listen.
and that does.
Listen. That's a whole nother. That is so true. It
It
helps
really does.
because you do feel shame because it's embarrassing.
It is.
It is. Let's just talk about that. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, right? Especially let you be a person that has I don't know, a title or whatever,
Mhm.
right? Now I have to go let somebody know, right, that I'm being abused. Now, how do I know that this person isn't going to stay quiet and keep my name hushed? Because if not, this is going to bring more problems. Now everybody's in your business. Now Susie Joe from up the street all of a sudden wants to check on you when she never said hi. It's just too much. It's too much. And then just to think about all these people could know your business,
Mhm.
it just makes you go, never mind, I'll just try to deal with it on my own. That is so true. They shelter themselves. Yes. Yes. Yes, they shelter themselves. That is so true. I completely relate with that one. Lavana said
When a
the
victim continues to make excuses for why they have to always be there for the predator, oh my gosh, and lack of self care.
yeah,
Wow.
yes.
Yes.
So
And
Ashlyn wants you to repeat the question.
oh, sure. So the question was, what are some of the signs of a person, man or woman, child, that
Mhm.
are being abused? And that can be just, you guessing or thinking about it, or if you've experienced, one of your friends or family members that have been through that. What are some of those signs that you see? Yes.
Yes.
Um, close off to others. Yes, they definitely close themselves off. They shut down,
Yes.
um, for sure. They make excuses for why they have to always be there. We talked about that. They they become an enabler is really what ends up happening
Oh
with those
yeah.
type of things.
Oh yeah. Because are you helping the problem? And we could talk about that after we go through some of these. One sign is when a victim continues to make excuses for why they have to always be there for the predator and lack self-care. Yeah. Yeah. And then, and that goes back to what I had said too. Um, this could be a person you've been with all half of your life. And then something happened. Think about the people who come back from war. This is a man you were in love with. You guys smooched and hugged and all this because you knew he was going off to war or whatever for the next year. And then he came back. He says, he writes you and says, hey, honey, I'm coming back. And you're all excited, right? And then he comes back and he's different, right? So think about that, right? This is the man you're in love with. You couldn't wait for him to come home. And now he has PTSD. So are you immediately going to say, let me throw him under the jail? No, it's going to be a little difficult because you're going to think, no, my husband never acts like that. We've been together for 10 years. He has never hit me. He's never treated the kids like this. Yada, 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 yada. He is great in the community. It's just he went off and came back and he's different. So as a good wife, what do? They're going to sit in those counseling sessions with him. We're going to say that let's go together and figure this out, because this is not you. But the problem is he doesn't see it.
Correct.
He doesn't see it, right? So that's what some of these people are struggling with. Someone changed out of nowhere. Because if he started off hitting you, you wouldn't have married him, right? You got catfished, right? That's how you feel later. Like, okay, this was a trick. Some don't, they don't start off by doing that, right? They got you somehow, right? So they don't start off by doing that. Something switches later on, and you're like, whoa, and now you're stuck, right? And maybe you have children now, right? Maybe now you just moved away from your family and now you have nobody around but his. So it's a little different. It's a little different.
Isolation, that is definitely a big one. Your husband doesn't want you to have friends, or the female, they don't want you to have friends. They only let you go out when they know where you're at. They're clocking you, they're controlling.
Yeah.
They're clocking every single move that you make, and they're always accusatory. If you're out too long, where you've been with someone else.
Oh yeah.
Some of those things. And then one of the other things that you can see, this somebody goes from 0 to 10 in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
That is definitely, I was in a situation where we used to go to a friend of mine, it was when I was married, and we were all married couples, and we would go and just hang out. And there was this couple that was there, and you would have hit it right on the nail that there was something going on, because he would if he didn't like something, he would isolate right in the middle of where we were. Like, you could tell he would get up and he would be like, let's go.
Yeah.
And or he would give her the look, if she said something that he didn't like. And so those are some of the controlling tactics that people do, and you can see those signs right in front of you.
Oh yeah.
Listen, and they're looking at you because they're embarrassed.
When I was in the relationship I was in my past, it almost made me feel like I was a child again. Right? It's like, oh crap, let me do this. Let me do this before my mom gets home, right? Because she told me that my chores had to be done before she got home, right? And you hear the garage coming up and you scared, right? You scared. That's how I feel, but I'm a grown woman, right? And then so all of a sudden you start to feel this anxiety come over you that you've never had before. Is this person going to get upset if I do this? Should I even approach this? Is it a good time to talk? Is it not? You don't know what's going on. And then all of a sudden you start to change.
Mm-hmm.
You start to change. Now you had friends. Now you don't. Now you're talkative. Now you're not. Let me just stay in my room. Let me just be quiet. Let me be to myself so I don't have any problems. And you start to just notice that you're not who you were. And you start to disappear. And that's a problem. And that's another flag too. Are you changing? Are you changing? Is the people around you noticing that you're changing? And now all of a sudden you have to back away from them because they're noticing. Because you don't want to embarrass the person you're with. Yes, Ashlyn, extreme changes in behavior. What else we have? They can be overly defensive. Oh, yes, I know that all too well. All too well. It's like, is it ever you? Like, is it always me? It's just, it's always just like, so what you're saying is that, no, I was just wanting to talk, it's always something. Always something. They have a word for that. I forgot the name. I lost out of my head, but I'm sure it'll come back to me. But there's some people that they could be doing the same exact thing over and over and they never see it. But the minute you change, all of a sudden you're the problem. All of a sudden. Let's see what else we have.
Bishop Jester says PTSD can change how one sees he or she might not see that he or she is an abuser.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, because it really is a problem. So this is not a person who just decided to drink and then they hit you, right? This did a chemical imbalance in their head. So they are seeing you in a different manner. They're seeing you as you're attacking them. And that's a problem. That's a problem that's real sad. Hi, mommy. She said, welcome back. Yeah. Yep, exactly. Some people didn't marry the monster. Life turned them into one. Yep, for sure.
For sure.
I think that's the last one.
And I think what's important as we're talking about this is that it's okay for counseling. I can't say that enough. That if you're feeling any of those signs or things like that, please reach out to your doctor, your physician, someone that you feel safe with, and you can really talk to them and let them know how you're feeling so they can get you some help. There are so many things that you can do if you're in a situation right now and you really don't know how to get out. Nick and I are going to talk to you about some of the things that you can do. Your friends, you can write them a little note. And you know,
I heard a great story about that one.
Go for it.
About that one. There was a lady, so her husband only took her out at certain times. And like they needed groceries or something. So but every time they go out, he makes her go with him just in case she tries to run. Well, they went to a diner and he got up to go to the bathroom and she already pre-wrote the note. It was this little tiny paper and it said, call 911 or he's going to kill me. It was very short, tiny. She balled it up into a napkin and put the napkin on top, but it was open. So she would know when the waitress came. And the waitress looked at her, called 911. By the time they got up, the cops are already there.
Wow.
I mean, that is probably like almost the last resort for her. Like if you don't call 911, I probably won't live. So those notes do work. They can. Of course, you just want to be very careful with it. But
and the other thing is, if you know of one of your friends or family members, and you know that they're not going to get out right away, and they really need help, you guys can do code words, something that's off, the wall, like, I need a brush, or just something that doesn't even connect to what we're talking about, so they know that if they do need some help and they need you to come and rescue them, please use those code words, use, emails and texts and things that you can say, and you create your own. One of the things that people do is they just create their own words. So when you use that word, they know that you need help.
For sure. That is so important. And, also it says 60% of abuse does not get reported. Gosh.
Wow. That's a lot.
60%. That's really shocking. It's like your neighbor could be getting abused right now and you don't know. 60%.
60% people.
Mm-hmm.
That is a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it can be your next door neighbor and you don't even know it. Don't
even know. Because they will do their best to hide it when they come out. Or they'll make an excuse and just say, well, he was having a bad day that day. Or sometimes the person with them, the one who's getting abused, will say, mind your business.
Yes.
Mind your business. And it's hard. It's hard, especially for those who want to really help people. And you have to mind your business, because if you get the police over there at the house and the wife or whoever's getting abused says, no, I don't know what you're talking about, there's nothing the police officer can do. She has to be able to be the one, or him has to be able to be the one to file the complaint and say, yes, I'm going to file charges. And so many times police officers go to the home and the person getting abused talking about, we'll say they changed their mind.
Mm-hmm.
because he apologized or because she apologized, knowing that they have a whole record on file with a black eye and all kinds of stuff. But yep.
So here's some of the stories that I'm sure, well, I don't know if any of you have seen, but there was one story where beautiful woman, and she had children, and she had met this guy, and they were doing great. And then all of a sudden he started showing some of these signs that we're talking about. And so once he figured out that she realized what kind of situation she was in, he wined and dined her, brought her to the house, and then threw hot water on her face.
Oh my God.
Those are extreme situations why you have to be very, very careful. She's a speaker now. I don't remember her name, but she's a public speaker now because she doesn't want anybody, but she had to go through like 80 surgeries for her face because she was so, beautiful woman.
Oh, that's probably why I did it.
Huh?
Probably why I did it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he said, if I can't have you, no one else
will look at you.
And now she's a public speaker, and she's talking about those signs and things that are happening around. So you have to be really careful because these people that are abusers, you don't know what they're thinking in their head, and you don't know what they will do.
Yeah,
so one of the things that Nick and I were talking about earlier is how we've seen some judgment around this conversation since we posted, and how people think they could just leave if they want to. It is not that easy. Think about it. If one of the abusers is telling you that if you say anything, I'm going to kill your family,
right,
or I'm going to do this to your children, you're not just going to run. And trust me, the sad part about it is the police can't do anything until there's something that's happening. So you can't go and say he's threatened me 3 times. There has to be something happening, something physical that they can report, which I think is where we need to start thinking about changing some of these laws that are out there, because it's too late when they've done the damage. Just like with this woman, she had reported it, but they wouldn't do anything. And so it just made him even madder. And so then he does this to her face. So she'll never be the same person again. And because she reported it prior to the incident, there was nothing they can do.
Wow.
There's something, we've got to change the laws in reference to that, because they need help while they're in the situation.
Let me tell you something. You know, there's a lot of people not understanding why some women or men won't make a statement, or won't leave, or won't tell somebody that they know. You want to know why? And I'm going to just be very blunt and honest and transparent, because that's what we do on this show, right? There's a lot of women that have lied. There's a lot of women that have lied on a man. I knew this one scenario, one situation rather. This woman was cheating on her husband, and she ended up getting pregnant. And so she didn't want her husband to know. So she said that the guy raped her. Made up a whole story, everything. She had marks on her and all kinds of stuff. But come to find out, the guy said that she told him she likes it like that. But she set it up so that the marks would match his. So that when she told the police that when she told her husband that the guy raped her, so that, this is why I'm showing up with this baby, the guy went over there and killed him. And then you have women who are telling the police that so-and-so raped them, or teenage girls who didn't want their parents to know that they lost their virginity before marriage, or lost their virginity at 15 or whatever, right? And said that the man, the boy that they were with raped them. And this is a true story, one that I know. It was a white female. It was a white female. She was dating this black boy, and he was a college basketball star, and he was about to go big. And she knew that her family would not approve, so she got scared and said that he raped her at a party. His scholarships were taken from him, and she later came out and said that she lied, but the damage was already done. And, I honestly believe that when women do that, they should get in trouble too.
Oh, yes,
Whatever was
absolutely.
taken from them, if they had to go to jail or whatever, I feel like you need to go to jail too. I feel like not only that, because you're not only putting someone in a bad situation now and ruining their lives, but you are now setting the tone for all the women before you. Because now when a woman who really gets abused wants to go and report it, now they kind of look at her like she's lying. Or now they have to do extra investigation just to make sure that it almost makes you feel like, well, dang, do you believe me? Well, no, they can't start off by believing you because so many people have given false allegations. So I'm here to say, please be honest.
Yes.
Be honest. Don't drag somebody's name through the mud, telling people this, telling people that, making this person to be his life or her life could be totally ruined over something that you took because you're trying to save yourself.
Yes, Lavana shared a story with me, and I put the link in there, and it's actually a disturbing 911 call, and it's definitely based on a live story, but it's basically where a woman called in to a 911 dispatch and started talking about a pizza. And so all of her responses to the dispatcher was pizza, anything dealing with pizza. And let me just read some of it for you. 911, what's your emergency? I would like to order a pizza. A woman from the other line said it's in a frightening voice. My brows instantly creased in confusion. And the lady said, you called 911 to order pizza? And she said, yes. And the lady said, are you hurt, ma'am? She said, yes, tomato sauce everywhere. You guys know what that means, right?
Yeah.
There's blood everywhere. Are there any children in the house? Yes, 2 small pizzas. Did someone hurt you? Yes, with lots of pepperoni, please. Is it your boyfriend? No. Don't put some chunk of pineapple on the pizza. Is it your father? Yes, I drank milk. What do you mean by drank milk? And the caller says, never mind. So the dispatcher pauses for a moment and starting to try to understand that this is a real call and the woman is in trouble. But I put the link in there and you guys can read the rest of it. But I just think it's interesting how this woman is talking to a dispatcher and she's using a pizza analogy to share with the dispatcher. And that's why it's so important that you really listen sometimes. Sometimes people can talk and they'll start talking crazy and you'll think they're crazy. But if you really be in tune such as this, they're really trying to send you a message because the abuser is standing there. And if they figure out you're talking to a police officer or someone that can help, they may kill.
Yeah. And I feel like, and I applaud the woman so much, but I feel like the dispatcher was asking way too many questions. Like clearly she just said, do you have somebody out here yet? Like, I need you to quit asking me these questions before this man realizes what I'm saying. But I'm glad she did that. I'm glad she did that but that's a great example of how she had to get creative so she could live.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thanks, Lavana, for sharing that.
Right. Yeah. Denicia said she had a friend who served 15 years on a lie. The woman lied about her age, then said he raped her. 2 years later, she finally told the truth, but nothing changed. Took this man's life. Yeah, that's a mess. That's a mess. And like I said, it's not just affecting one person. It's affecting all the people before you, or after you rather, that possibly could be going through something. And now they're going to be looked at as you're possibly lying.
That's right.
Wow. 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 Wow.
Yeah, it is definitely a wow. And
Yeah.
so it's so important, that we really, be in tune. And especially if it's one of those your girlfriends, I had a girlfriend where, I would ask her to go someplace, and she would never go because her spouse wouldn't let her go, or he would make up excuses that, she had things to do. And you could tell because they're kind of weird when when you're looking at them, especially if the spouse is in the room or anywhere near and can hear, they act totally different. You can tell when their abusers are around because they act different, they talk
Right.
different, their body language is stiff. So many different signs that things are going on. And we've definitely got to be in tune to some of those things.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That is so important. So I know you probably want to talk about some, but I was just wondering, what are some things that if you saw someone in an abusive relationship, what would you say? What would you say to that person? Are you the type of friend that would just say, I'm calling the police?
Mhm.
Uh, and I'm just gonna get her out of there. Or you the type of friend that's like, hey, come over, and then you don't let them leave? Or, what kind of friend are you? How would you handle the situation? As for me, I would have to assess the situation first, because what if I'm gonna get her hurt even more?
Yes.
My thing, the type of friend I am, I will respect what my friend is saying. But my thing is also, I love you enough to where I can't see you get hurt. I can't. I will do my best to try to do it discreetly. Um, but I don't want to make a scene either to where it could possibly affect her even more. You know, it,
It's
it,
a
it
it's a delicate situation, and I'm like you, Nick. I've seen it enough. Being in traveling around the military, I've seen it a whole lot, and so it's a very delicate situation. And then you have to remember that if they're the breadwinner and they're taken out of the home, they don't know how they're going to survive. And remember, they have kids. And so if they're, and and they like, that's control for them. If the
yes,
wife isn't working or the husband, they're at home and they send them to jail, then how are they going to live? That's the mentality. What am I going to do? How am I going to raise my children? How am I going to, drive? All these things. Where am I going to get the financial means to continue my life? And so I think, those are some of the things that when I think about it, I if I'm going to approach my friend, it's definitely not going to be in their home. I'm definitely going to try to, take her out to lunch or dinner or use like her birthday or something to get
yes,
her out of the house. It's like Nick said, you have to be creative in some of
yes,
the things that you're doing. And,
yeah,
sometimes the hardest thing is when you have people in those situations that won't leave, and it hurts you. I mean, it hurts
yeah,
so bad. And so you've got to support them in a way that when they are ready, they will come to you. Because if you just ostracize them because they won't leave, when it's really time for them to leave or they're ready to go, then they're not going to come to you. And it's a process. One thing I have read about that is that you've got to be very delicate with these situations. It is a process. You just keep being there. You're open. You keep giving them resources. You keep telling them, give them. I used to give books. There's tons of books out there that talk to people about the situations that they're in, and so it gives them a revelation without me having to voice it. Because
yeah.
sometimes if it's you saying it all the time, they won't listen.
And
Just
you
to
can
see.
even be creative with the book. Write something in the passage.
Oh,
Put
that's good.
your phone number in there. Something, something. That is so true. Some of the comments were saying, Sierra says she sends health checks.
Mm.
Send a health check, so that's important. So I'm thinking that that's when you send a police officer to just do like a wellness, like, hey,
Awareness.
just check. I haven't heard from so and so. Just that's a good idea. But then also, I wonder, is that going to make the person more suspicious? Like, why are they, like, maybe he'll move her. I don't know. But that's something. And then also Ashlyn says it has to be her or his choice because they will go back.
And it's right.
Yeah. For me, it feels like I have to, my conscience has to be clear. Like, did I try? Did I try? Did I talk to her? Did I say, hey, I can help you? Did I say something? I definitely can't just go, well, that's their business. Oh, well.
Right.
What if I could have been the one to stop her from dying? Because people do die from this. A lot.
They do.
A lot. 55% of people die in abusive relationships. Domestic.
Wow.
Yeah. This is a person you married, killed you. So yeah, it's really sad. Yeah. So what are some things that we could say to someone who is getting abused? Because what is not okay to say is, you can leave, right? Or you must like it because you should have left. I would have, or I actually have to say that many years ago, when I would watch somebody getting abused, like on a movie or something like that, I'm like, I don't know how. I don't know how that woman could be going through that, because there's no way in heck I would be going through any of that, right? And then it happened to me. And I have to try to leave discreetly with my kids.
Mm.
Right? Because now you can't just go like you could have if you didn't have children, right? Because now you have to strategically leave. You have to, and then, there's also some women who have said that, I knew one young lady that I used to counsel, and her husband takes her paycheck.
Oh.
Her husband takes her paycheck. Soon as she gets paid, he takes it. So it's like, how can she save money to leave? Right? So little things like that. It's like, you can't say those things because you don't know why they're not leaving. Right? So some things you can consider is, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Remind the victim that she or he is not to blame for what's happening. Because they, like I said, they can start victimizing themselves.
Yes.
And that will make them stay even more because they feel like they are the problem. Make sure you're saying, I'm sorry this has happened to you, not blaming them, saying, you should have left, or it's because they're immediately probably already feeling that way. Like, should I have left a long time ago? When I saw Kim do that the first time last year, and now it's worse. They're probably already going through all those thoughts and feelings anyway. Making them feel like they aren't alone. Or how about I come with you? Would you like me to come with you? Or letting them know that you believe them, because I guarantee you the person is telling them that nobody will.
Right. And and one thing that you can do is just begin to feed their spirit. Their spirit is broken.
Yeah.
And so one thing I do or have done in the past is I'm always, until they're ready, I just send them, encouraging notes, cards, tell them how beautiful they are, just really flooding them, because we need to counteract all that information that's been put into their head, so they can feel strong within themselves that they can leave. And so, yes, just as Sierra said, same thing I do is you start trying to affirm them,
Yes,
because they're so broken. And
that is
so
so true.
that is such something that you can do. And it really helps me, I don't know about anybody else, but it really helps me to feel like I'm doing something until
Yes.
they're ready.
Yes.
Just letting them know that they are beautiful, and everyone can see. And then if they have a gift or there's something that they do good, really start affirming that. That's like something that they could start selling if they like jewelry or hats or something they could start putting money away, just to get out. So really
Yes.
helping them to plan a way of attack, I mean a way of escape,
Yeah.
when they're ready.
When I planned my leave, I had a friend open. I had opened an account, and I started giving her the money. I started giving her the money, and then that way, when it was time for me to go, it wasn't anywhere that the person could have taken it from me.
That's a
I had a nice stash, little by little. It took me a year and a half because I couldn't move it all at one time. I had to make it look very, like I'm not doing anything. So it was very strategic, but I knew it was going to take a moment. But I knew I had to move it somewhere where it couldn't be found, and I couldn't be found going to a bank either. So yeah. Lavana says a great thing a friend can be is their bank.
Mm-hmm.
That is so true.
It is.
It helped me. It helped me. It helped me for sure. All
So
right.
let's talk about some of here's some help lines and
Yeah.
numbers that you can call if you're in a situation and you just need to talk. For the folks here in Texas, you can call the Texas Abuse Hotline, and that's 1-800-252-5400. And if it's something that needs, help with or investigating within 24 hours. What else do we have? You can also call of course, 911, and they'll definitely give you resources. But there are homes for battered women here in Texas that
Yes.
you can call, and they can give you a safe place to go as well.
Yes.
And then I'm sure family or friends will take you in at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's hard because sometimes friends don't want to get involved because, we don't know what the abuser will do to them and things of that nature.
Sometimes the abuser is the family member. Hello, let's be real. Let's be real. Sometimes you don't want to go to the family because they love Uncle Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way Uncle Joe would do that.
True.
So
if you guys have any questions or you have some thoughts, please feel free to put those out there right now. We can discuss that as we are wrapping up.
Message me, message Ansonia if you have a problem, if you need prayer, if you need, maybe this was your sign. Maybe this was your sign that says, I need to make a change right now and I need to leave before something happens to me. Let me know. I would appreciate that so I can help you. There's also tons of Facebook groups. If you type in abusive relationships or abuse, it pops up. There's tons of Facebook groups and they're private. They if you post anything in those groups, they do something to where your name's anonymous. So they'll post it, like say you're looking for a house to kind of settle in, or you need someone to help you. They'll repost it, but without your name, so that the people can comment and help you. So these are other women that are helping other women in there. So.
And then there's the Texas for Texas Advocacy Project, 800-374-4673. And that's www.texasadvocacyproject.org. Some of the things that Nick was talking about was domestic abuse support group that's out there, life after abuse relationship, emotional abuse, narcissistic and domestic abuse.
Narcissistic, that's the word I was looking for. Ooh, that is a serious
diagnosis.
It
And
so great.
those are some of the groups that you can go in to get help as well if you're just not ready right now to go. But being in those type of groups will let you know really where you're at and what you need to do to get away. Um, Lavana says, I've counseled women who couldn't go to their mothers because they loved their charismatic husbands, yes, and felt the abuse was their fault.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
Sierra says 800-799 safe. That's
Amen.
one for everyone. Thanks, Sierra. Um, these are just resources for you. And as you said, I know Nick. Nick is a counselor. I am a coach. Lavana Lewis, who's actually on here, she is counselor as well. We have so many resources and people that we know that we can connect you with. That we know pastors that we can connect you with.
Yes.
Nick's husband is a pastor.
Yes.
That's my bro, Brandon, and he will definitely, if he needs to, come out and help.
Oh,
There's just so many resources for you out there. If you need anything, we are very confidential. We won't say a word. Please reach out to us and we can connect you with some resources to help you get free.
yeah. And if you're scared to even do any of that, start affirming yourself.
Yes.
Start affirming yourself. Start telling yourself, I deserve better than this. Because you do. You do. Sometimes it has to start, well, most of the time it has to start with you. It took a long time, and I finally said, I'm not doing this anymore. Not this afternoon, not this evening, and definitely not tomorrow. Like I just said, that's it. That's it. And that's what it takes. That's what it's going to take. You are going to have to say, I can't do this anymore. And start affirming yourself. If the person's telling you you're worthless, say, if you're scared to say it out loud, then just tell yourself in your head, that's not what God said. That's not what God said. That's not what I was promised. That's not what I was told. Just keep telling yourself that you are worthy, that you are beautiful.
Yes.
You do not deserve this treatment. Men, tell yourself there's no way that when you prayed for a spouse, that this is the person that was supposed to show up. Okay? That you are a man, you are whole. Okay, there's no way that you should be going through any of this, knowing that you're a great person, knowing that this person is taking your kindness and just smearing it across the map. Okay, it really needs to start with you rebuilding yourself and making yourself strong so that you will be strong enough to say, I'm leaving and I'm not doing this again.
That's right.
Children, my God, I understand how much harder that can be. Try your best to hide your children away from things like that so that they don't get traumatized. Maybe try to say, can we please not do this in front of the kids, or just something, something to where your kids aren't around it as much. Take them to their grandma's house. Take them somewhere. Hide them if you have to. But do your best. I know it's not easy, but you need to affirm them too. And that's us, right? We have to be strong for us and them. So, but yeah, if you need help, if you want prayer, if you need encouragement words, if you don't know how to affirm yourself, not only me or Sonia, but we have several women that can help you as well. So if you are one of those women that are listening to us that are saying, if somebody reaches out, give them my number too, or tell them to text me or tell them to email me. Let us know in the comments so that we can send some women your way as well.
Absolutely. And I put some scriptures. We didn't get a chance to get into a lot of that, but I put those in there so you could research those yourself. And if you need more, we can definitely give that to you. Please feel free to reach out to us for that as well. But this is definitely a topic that we'll probably talk about again later on, because it's something that I think we should definitely keep talking about.
Yes.
And then, I just know that there's a life that'll be saved just because of the conversation.
Yes, 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 yes. Absolutely. And if you haven't already, please make sure to share this, because you could be helping someone.
Yes.
You could be helping someone by sharing this, by letting people, especially if you know the person's on your Facebook,
Yes.
Or send them the video, something to just give them that little push, that says, watch this. This is your sign, something. Denicia says she's here. Amen. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
So she's here also for us to reach out to. If there's any women out there that are needing someone to help affirm them, help carry them along. And that's what we're here for, right?
Yeah.
We're supposed to not be mocking each other or pushing each other down or running all over each other. We have enough of that in the world. We're supposed to be grabbing each other's arm and say, let's go. Let's go. Hold your head up, right? There's a meme that says, fix the person. Don't point it out that my crown is tilted, right? I don't want you to point that out. Just fix it. Just tell me. Let me know I got something in my teeth. Don't go around telling people, help me. And Sierra, one more thing. Sierra says, actually, Airborne Society was born because I literally felt I lost my crown during my marriage, separation, divorce to a narcissist. God gave me specific affirmations and told me to buy a new crown. Wow. I had a nice little collection, but lost everything. God had me put the crown on every day and say the affirmation he gave me. I got free mm-hmm. and am a door to freedom. Yes. You can most definitely call me. Yes, Sierra. Cool. Yes, Sierra. Yes. I tell you, these are wonderful women to reach out to. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely.
And the good news is that they know some of these, she's sharing her story. Some of these women have been through it. So it's not like they don't know what you're dealing with.
Exactly. So and that's what you're afraid of, right? Like, is this person even going to know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we do.
Been there, done that.
People who talk about something have no idea, they can't even relate. I can relate. We can relate. These women on here can relate as well. So
definitely reach out to us if you're needing to. We're so excited that you came and joined us today. Mm-hmm. How did you want to do are we going to announce about the gift card later, or how are we going to do that?
We will announce it on our next show. So if all you had to do was share this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you will be entered into a drawing for $25 towards Face by Nick. You can use it towards any beauty service or any cosmetics. And I have new products coming out soon. So you can even hold on to your gift card and wait for my announcement in April.
Toot, toot. That's awesome.
Yes.
Well, ladies, thank you. And gentlemen, thank you. Make sure that you share the video. Go and like our YouTube channel. Tag somebody, call somebody, let them know what they missed and that they can definitely do the repeat and play it to them so they can hear this awesome information and we can get somebody free. Amen.
Yes. Free. Woo, that is so important.
Get somebody free. So, Father, we thank you and we bless you. Yes. We magnify you, Lord God. We thank you for another opportunity for us to come together, Lord God, and just share your word, share freedom with the people, oh God. And Father, I ask that you just cover every person that is in an abusive relationship, oh God. Lord, I ask that you would just free their mind, their heart, their soul, their spirit, oh God. Lord, bring them help and resources their way. Let them know that they are not alone, that there are so many people that they can reach out to. There's resources, there's numbers, there's people on our line, they can reach out to us, Lord, and we'll be there for them. Lord, I ask that you just cover them under the blood from the top of their head to the soles of their feet, their children right now, oh God, that you will continue to bless them, even in their situation, oh God. And Father, I ask that you would just cover the children and their minds and their hearts and
Yes.
their eyes and their ear gates, oh God.
Yes.
Free them up, oh God, and Lord, until they're able to get out of the situation, Lord. I'm just asking that you would just free them right now. No weapon formed against them shall prosper. We know that the devil is a liar,
Yes.
and they will break free in Jesus' name. We love you and we thank you for everyone that is listening under the sounds of our voices, oh God. And Lord, that you will bless them and continue to keep them in perfect peace with their mind stayed on you. In Jesus' mighty name, amen and amen.
Amen.
Thanks for listening. We're so excited to be back.
Yes. Oh, it feels so good. See y'all soon. We have another great topic coming up.
We do.
Bye.
Bye.